We always used to love sliding cars, and if we were all spectating at a rally, you'd go to the tightest corner on a stage just to see the car sliding. So when we heard of this drift competition in December 2002, my brother decided to enter it, and he actually managed to win that event. And I was just 10 years old as a spectator back then, but I think seeing my brother win that event, I just fell in love with it there and then. I first competed, my first event, I just turned 15 years old, and I had a Ford Sierra, just 2-litre twin cam. Competed in like 2-3 events in the novice class with this pushing the Sierra to the max, and we bought this Nissan S14, it was a stock car. We put a hydraulic handbrake in it and did some very minor upgrades to it. My first event in that car was the Pro Drift licensing day in 2007. I managed to qualify second that day, and I got my pro license at 15 years old, and I couldn't believe it. I didn't know how I was going to do this. Like it was going to be tough, especially with school. It was the same year as my junior cert in school, so there was a lot going on. But in my own head, drifting was going to come first. And like it was my first love, and so I was willing to do anything to make it happen. I managed to win the Irish Pro Drift Championship that year, and same time I managed to win the European Championship also. So 2008 was just a crazy year. 16 years old, travelling all over Europe, doing what I love, and just as a kid, like it was surreal. My old S14 was in America. If I was to wait for it to come home, we would have missed the first few events of the Pro Drift Championship in 2009. So we had an RX-7 here, and with the help of my family and friends, we built a new car within 2 months. It was all hands on deck. We got the car with a blown rotary engine, and obviously budget was pretty tight at the time, so we decided to put a Nissan SR20 engine into it. It's a lot different to drive than a Nissan S-Body or any other of the usual drift chassis out there. It's still competitive. It only has 450 horsepower, but it's a lot of fun to drive. It's like driving a go-kart, full throttle all the time, and it makes me smile when I drive it. My plan was to come back competing in Drift All-Stars for the 2014 series. The power of the European cars right now is just crazy, and I decided that building a new car was probably a better option because I didn't want to ruin the balance of the RX-7. We decided to go with an S chassis, 2JZ power plant, ZRP engine components in the car, running a NASCAR 4-speed Tex Racing dog box, ACT clutch, turbo by GART GTX 3582 turbo, extremely reliable car, 650 horsepower. Started building it about November, and we had it ready at the end of April, so it was a busy off season, a lot of work to do, but it's a very good car and really competitive. One of the hardest things about competing internationally is keeping the cars running. They need to be extremely reliable. That's definitely the most important thing. You can be the best driver in the world, and if you're in an unreliable car, well, you're not going to get any results.
First event, brand new car out of the box, and broke the gearbox. So we said, right, it's Achilles heel, so we got a box for 1,000 horsepower and said, right, that's the end of that. And it was put on a container, and we didn't see it. We took it off the container after the last round, and we had no problems really, which is, it's a credit to the lads for their build. No matter where in Europe we go, James is the last man into the car after. He doesn't leave anything to chance, so if something goes wrong, he was the last man at the tire, so that's fair enough. He knows how to set the car up, and if the tire pressures are down 2 psi, he can tell you before he gets out of the car, so that's a good thing.
Even to this day, I still get crazy nerves at the start line and before the events, like the build up to the event. I'd be watching what everyone else is doing and looking at videos of the track if I haven't competed there before, and trying to get as much information into my own head as possible. There's no feeling like sitting at the start line ready to do your first run of qualifying. It's so intimidating. You know, you and your team has travelled all this way, put in so much effort, sponsors, support and everything, and it all comes down to 2 laps. If you make a mistake in 2 laps, 2 less than 30-second runs, then you're going home, complete waste of time and effort and money. And the pressure on those 2 runs of qualifying is unbelievable. It's really hard to describe, but I'd be like shaking at the line, but as soon as I put it into first gear and leave out the clutch, everything is gone, and that's when I'm in my zone and I'm happy and most comfortable. I think if I stop getting the buzz I get from this sport, then I wouldn't be doing it, but I still get unbelievable adrenaline rush from drifting.